Hey, so I'm about to go on a little rant real quick. And this is something that, I want most people to kind of, you know, take this as a lesson from me. So last week this is about a car dealership. So last week I went and purchased the car, but as I was purchasing it, I saw the car, I liked the car. I said, this is the car I'm interested in. It's a pretty good car, has low mileage. It's a 2013 BMW 328i, the Sport Edition. I'm in it right now. Literally, it's in great condition. And then, as I was going for the test drive and everything, I didn't realize this. I was looking at everything else. I was looking at the car, not just the outside portion of it. I was looking at like mechanical issues of it to see if it did have any mechanical issues. So I'm looking at the engine bay. I'm looking to see if there's any leaks, any oil leaks, or anything that could be a major problem. So I was looking at that. Everything checked out. Looked under the car. Everything seemed to be okay. And then it wasn't until after I had left the dealership to go pick up a friend so I can go pick up my car that I currently had. And as I was picking him up, he got in the car, and then the key that I had kind of like just slipped out of my hand, and it just fell into this corner right here and literally split open in two pieces. And that's when I realized this key was glued together. And as a car dealership, yeah, you want to sell a car, but make sure that the next owner of the car is not going to have any issues. So now the issue that this has caused, and I realized, I started backtracking to when the salesman was giving me, was going to let me do the test drive. It took him quite a while when he came. He was kind of like holding the key a certain way, hiding the key from me, because I guess he saw the situation, he knew the problem, and he didn't admit it to me. I know sales guys do that crap all the time, but this right here is something that I should have got notified about, because how am I going to drive the car without this? How am I going to drive the car when this is faulty? And the reason that this is faulty is, one, somebody glued it together. Somebody glued it together. And then on top of that, the motherboard is basically glued in on top of, it's glued into the key. So when I go, to the car or stuff like that, I can't unlock the car from far away. I have to be literally this close by the window on the outside to unlock the car. And then sometimes when I get in the car, I'll go to start the car and it says does not recognize key in there. So it's basically telling me that it doesn't even see there's a key. So I would have to, hold the key a certain way, and it's embarrassing to do that. It is very embarrassing to do that. And I'm really pissed off, because I contacted the sales rep afterwards, and I was like, yo, you gave me a key that barely works. It works when it wants to. And he was like, this is the first words that came out of his mouth. He was like, oh man, I can give you the number to our key guy. I said, what? A number to our key guy? And afterwards, I'm sitting there like, I'm not gonna even, I took the number down. And me I already know the pricing of these keys. These keys are not expensive. This is a 2013 BMW. This is still fairly an expensive car to maintain. Not even to own, it's to maintain. So I called the guy was talking about $400 for a key. So I called the sales rep back, and I told him, yo, you sold me a car that had a bad key, and you knew it. And this guy is trying to charge me $400, and he was like, oh, there's nothing that I can really do about it. You can speak to our sales manager. So next day, I went to the sales manager. And the sales manager looked like he wanted to help. And then the sales manager was like, let's see if there's a second key first before we even move on to making any decisions on what happens next. So I said, all right, cool. If there's a second key, I really don't care. I'll take the second key, and you guys keep this key, or the bank could keep this key, and I really don't care. As long as I have a good working key for my car. You know, if it was me that messed up the key, that would have been on me to pay that $500 or $400 to fix the, you know, to get a new key. But if it's you guys that knew the situation, you're gonna pay for it, no matter what. So then he came with me, and he I guess called one of their other dealerships that they have in Miami, which was it's Florida Fine Cars. That's the dealership. I'm not gonna even hide them. Why should I hide them? You know, they have people who work for them who's basically, I guess they don't want to pay up, or they don't want to admit that, you know, they don't want to take responsibility for their actions. If you do something, you got to take responsibility, responsibility for the actions. I don't care how it gets paid for, but it needs to get paid for. So I went to he called me back the next day, and he said he called the dealership in Miami, and the dealership in Miami did not have the key, did not have a second key. So I'm thinking, okay, we're gonna figure this out, and you guys are gonna pay for me to get another key, because I cannot drive like this. And then he called me. I mean, no, he didn't call me. Well, we're already talking, but he answered me back saying, give me a second, you know, let me call you back. So he gave me a call back, and he said, this is what we could do. We can have the sales rep, Ocean, that's his name, the sales rep that sold me the car and tried to hide this from me. He said that, you know, we can have him pay for half of it, and you pay for the other half, because they get a deal. So it'd be basically us paying $175 each. Bro, I just put a good amount of money down on this car, and you want me to pay $175 on top of that? Plus I got a car payment, bro. Like, I'm just worried about me paying this car. I shouldn't have to worry about stuff that should have been done way before I got the car. Bro, if you really look at this, man. Look at the condition that they gave me this key in. And it barely works for this car. Like, I was just sitting here. This is why I made this video right now, because I'm just sick and tired of just using this. I'm sitting there trying to lock the car. The car won't lock. Okay, I have to go back inside the car to try to unlock the car and lock the car. The car's not doing not a damn thing. And then I'm trying to start the car, and it literally took me two and a half minutes, about almost 3 minutes to just start this car. Talking about, oh, we can have him pay half of it, and you pay half of it, and you know, you should have checked it. How am I gonna check it if the guy was hiding the key from me in the first place? I was just looking at the car to check if there were any damages and anything that I needed to see. But if somebody's hiding the key from me, well, I'm automatically gonna think, oh, you know, he's holding the key because it's not owned by me yet, or something like that. I'm thinking it's dealership stuff. So Florida Fine Cars and Margate these two guys, Ocean, which is the sales rep, and then Gabriel, which is the sales manager. So if you're the sales manager, you should come up with a good solution for the customer. That's not a good solution for me, man, at all. So I would advise anybody who goes out to these dealerships to buy a car, you know, learn from my mistake, and please check for, you know, everything that you need to check for, which is, you know, checking if there's any oil leaks, checking the tires, checking the interior, checking the lot, like the headliner. You know, check everything that you need to check. But most importantly, if you have an expensive car or a car that has expensive parts, please check your key, because some of these guys will fuck you over, basically. And that's it, man, for my rant. Florida Fine Cars, please do better.